Hello, Todd Clemens, Okeechobee Livestock Market, and here's your weekly market report. We had a really good run this week, a little over 1,000 head Monday and a little over 1,000 head Tuesday, so over 2,000 head for the week. And cows and bulls did cheapen up a little bit. However, they're still selling pretty good. Lots of cows still bringing in the 80s and 90s on the top end. A lot of bulls bringing over $1 to $1.15 or $1.16 on the very best bulls. So it's still selling good, but I think spring is here and the winter weather conditions have passed us, and we're getting into the spring, and numbers of cows have kind of come back, and there's a lot of cows showing up still, and so the prices are coming back down to a more normal level, even though they're still selling real good. There's some cows bought last week still here, and packers down in our areas here have got plenty of cattle to pick from. So prices are going to be a little bit lower on the cow market, even though they're still good. Still a little over 20% of the volume for the week was slaughter classes, and normally probably 16 to 18% of the sales should be slaughter classes. We've been running anywhere from 30 to 40 to sometimes 50% of the volume would be slaughter classes. And so I think we've worked our way through all that, and we're getting back down to a more normal level of slaughter classes versus feeder classes. We had some good feeder calves here this week, all sizes, mainly in the 300 to 400 pound ranges. We had a lot of little good calves that were bringing $700 to $750 on those steer calves. We also had some pretty good yearlings in here from Grace Ag. I remember seeing some of those calves selling. Some of them were weighing around 700 pounds, and they sure brought good money. Some of those calves brought over $1,000. And if you look at the market report this week, you'll see in those number one steer classes, those 600 pound, there weren't that many of them reported. There's not that many of the cattle this time of year that'll grade that number one quality, but there were a few of them there weighing 600 pounds that penciled out over $1,000. Some 5-weight calves bringing in the 160s or better, bringing up there around $900. So that's not bad, but it needs to be every bit of that with expenses going up the way they are, and fuel is still high, and all those input costs, feed and fertilizer, everything's high. But anyway, the market was good and prices were good. We did have some things going on last week, Saturday, that I want to, you may know about it or may not, but we had this second chance hog and steer show sale here at Okeechobee. Matt and Bernie and some of the gang around here saw where there was a need for these kids that didn't make the show here at Okeechobee because of this reason or that reason. Maybe they missed the weight or didn't get their record book turned in on time, or for various reasons they just didn't make the sale. So there's these kids that have these animals, these steers and hogs, that needed to do something with them. So they got the idea of putting it out there, and we had, I think, 25 hogs and 10 or 11 steers show up from all around. We had a couple people come all the way from Gainesville. We had one come from Miami. We had a couple of them come from Plant City, I believe, and then for most of the rest of them were from around here. But I do want to say thank you to all the people that supported that. It ended up being a good cause, and these kids were just elated. Some of the mamas were even crying. I saw them when they were selling these animals. They said, thank you so much for helping us, because we just got kind of hung with these animals and we didn't know what to do with them. So I want to take just a minute and tell you who these people are that came out and supported the sale. Down our buyers list, Paco Anuez. I think he bid on everything that came through the ring. Paco, that was good of you to do that. We appreciate you. Wendy Crum, Wendy Culbertson, Marshall Davis, John Entry, J.E. Land Clearing, G&B Bulldozing, Georgie and Bucky, thank y'all so much. Richard Guthrie, that old bullfighter. Iron Spur, Daniel Bishop and Tad Corrigan and the crew over there in Vero Beach really came out and supported us. Angelo Izzo, Sheila Katif, Seth Louthan, Danny McFarland, Okeechobee County Cattlemen's Association, thank you for being here, Seth, and supporting this sale. Old River Cattle Company, Pope Farms, Wade Rogers, Seminole Tribe of Florida, Brighton, Wells, WELLS, that's Scott Wells, thank you, Scott, thank you so much. Watford Auction, Jimbo, John Allen, thank y'all for being here. And we had people from town that couldn't come or wanted to support to just add on, and Seminole Tribe of Florida bought animals here and even added on more money to the ones they didn't buy. Gilbert family, Gil and Krista and Bert and the whole gang down there at Gilbert's come out and support most everything here in this town, and they supported this sale in a big way. American Drilling, that's Frank DiCarlo, thank you, Frank, for being here. Iron Spur Cattle added on to animals they didn't buy. And Williamson Cattle Company, John and Megan came, and John Wesley, their son, did not make the sale here at Okeechobee, and he brought a steer, and he's been snake bit, Buddy Mills said, because every time he goes to have a project, something happens to it and he can't make the sale, so he gets a second chance here at Okeechobee Livestock Market. And thank y'all for being here. They bumped everything up. I don't know that they bought an animal, but they bumped everything up a little bit there and sure helped out. So all you people that came out and supported this sale, we sure appreciate it. Mullis, Jamie Mullis, also too. I didn't mention Jamie, but he was part of supporting this sale, and also over there, who was the man that you sent the hogs to? Jimmy Fussell. Jimmy Fussell helped us out with that, and so thank y'all so much. Matt Clemens, Matt and Heather bought a pig. Bob Claxton. So just these are the guys that came out and supported that sale. We appreciate you so much. And on the national level, we've talked about many times about the competition for cattle on the packer and the feedlot end, and we're trying to get some legislation done, or not we, but there's movements in pushing for legislation for the Cattle Transparency and Price Discovery Act. That's been introduced into the Senate, and that's Chuck Grassley and Deb Fisher, and it's a bipartisan bill. It has a lot of support to it. There's a lot of people supporting it. The president and the White House is supporting competition in all phases and stages, and we need to get behind something to keep these packers buying cattle at a negotiated price. Just like here at Okeechobee Livestock Market this week, we discovered what animals were worth in markets all across the country, found out what animals were worth. When you bring them to town and you get bidders bidding on cattle, you find out the value of them. And if you don't have that competition, then somebody's just going to set a price. And where's it going to come from? Well, who knows? Unless you have people actually live bidding on cattle, you're not going to know that. And there's cattle being traded out of corporate feedlots, mostly down in the Panhandle and the southern plains there around Texas. They say that by the year 2025, there's going to be zero negotiated trade in Texas. It's all going to be corporate feedlots. And when you get to the point where you don't have people bidding on cattle, and they're just going to take them for whatever you let them take them for, then we're going to be in trouble. So we don't want to get to that point, and I know there's a lot of a few organizations that are opposed to some of these things, and there may be things in there that I don't like or you don't like, but we have to do something. In this bill, it's Senate Bill SB 3229. SB 3229. Contact your senators, Rubio and Scott here in Florida, and wherever you are, contact your senators and tell them that you support SB 3229, and let's get behind this and get this competition where these packers will have to buy a minimum percentage of the cattle that they kill. They have to buy them on a negotiated cash price. And it's not upping the percentage, it's just maintaining the percentage where it is now so it won't be any lower. It's not going to kill anybody off. You can still do formulas, you can still do grids, you can still negotiate grids, you can do all that stuff, but this just sets a minimum price discovery negotiated cash price of where it is now. And then the way I understand it is every year they'll look at that percentage and see if it needs to be tweaked, but it will never go below what it is now. It could only go higher. It could go higher or stay the same. But this is something that I believe is good for us, and everybody's got their opinions and choices and decisions to make, but I'm for it, and I think it's a good thing. So we did have some high prices here this week. Trailview Properties, they had some really good calves come in here. Good Charolais, mainly Charolais cross calves, and real good quality calves. A 305-pound steer calf brought $227.50, bought by Cracker Land and Cattle. And on the slaughter cow side, one of the groups that came all the way from Miami with a steer for the second chance sale brought some cows with them, and we held them over until the sale there on Monday. And that's Turner Tech Arts High School, Miami, Florida, all the way from Miami. Had a cow she weighed 1645 and brought 97 cents, bought by Florida Beef. That's your market report. Thank you.